Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
We're back, man. Episode 318.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it. Porn. Let's talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, recently a lady killed her husband for watching porn. Sunday school teacher convicted of murdering husband over porn habit. And it says an Arkansas nurse and Sunday school teacher was sentenced to 16 years in prison. That's it. Damn. Tuesday for murdering her husband after discovering he had paid for porn. Patricia Hill, a nurse of 50 years, shot and killed her husband, Frank Hill, 65, in a shed outside their Pine Bluff home last July after two argued about pornography use. Hill's attorney, William O. James Jr., told NBC News that the couple had been married for 17 years and she kept finding pornography stashed and hidden. James said Frank Hill would often watch pornography in the shed, which he described as his man cave. Patricia Hill, a religious woman who taught Sunday school, felt like the devil was in the shed. Hill, 69, filed for divorce in May 2018, but she withdrew the papers after he begged her to reconsider. 2 months later, after Hill discovered that her husband had purchased a pornography channel on her TV, she confronted him.
The channel, dang.
My God. Okay, look here, man. Let me be very clear.
You gotta kind of like describe these people though. Like it says they were married 17 years?
Yeah, but they're older.
Yeah, they're very much older. She looks well into her 60s, and he looks kind of around that same age as well.
Yeah, the age. They told the age right there in an article, man.
Oh, I didn't.
You weren't listening.
Oh, 65. My bad. Yeah, yeah, my bad.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Let's be very clear, man. I'm sorry. Ain't nothing wrong with a little porn, man. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit. If you got an addiction to it, there's a difference. But nobody needs to die over porn, man. Like, nobody needs to die. That's insane, man. And first of all, there's statistics that showing that most people masturbate. Most people. Meaning, I think women was like men, it was 95% of men masturbated and 89% of women masturbated. So it's like sometimes people watch a little bit of porn and rub one out. And I don't know if it's worth dying over, though. But the truth be told, if she had a problem with it and she wanted to leave him, he should have let her go.
Yeah.
You know, and then if you feel like you got to hide something from your partner, like porn, then y'all might not work out. I'm the type of person that let people have a little, like let's say I get in from work one day and I walk in and my wife has got a vibrator and I see some pornography on the screen, I'm just going to close the door and walk out. I feel like some people deserve a little private moment.
I'm like, hey, you need some help? She's like, no, I got this. Go make me a bowl of cereal.
She can't hear you over that vibrator. Like, oh my God. Let her finish. Now these women got those fucking roses, man.
Yeah.
Did you hear about those rose toys? I guess they're affecting women's the nerves.
Oh no.
The vaginal nerves is getting worn out from that rose, man.
That's a real thing?
That's a real thing.
Dang.
Yeah, man. That's terrible.
I can see that. It's a very sensitive area, so I would imagine that all that stimulation.
At this point, they're electrocuting the pussy.
Yeah, basically.
God damn.
Yeah, I think to me, I was having this conversation with my girl. I was like, some of this stuff is like very immature. Like some arguments are just immature arguments, you know, where people are like, you know, like certain things dealing with people's exes or, you know, communicating with certain people. Certain things are just like very immature, like arguments. So I think that, and I put this in there, I think having an argument over porn is like a very immature argument. Like this is something that, I don't know. I just feel like if you're maybe in your 20s or 30s, like this might be like some type of argument yet. But when you're in your 60s, it's almost like y'all have lived so much life that he was just probably, I mean, just to be real, like she like 69 years old. It don't hang the same way. It's not shaped the same way it used to be. So I feel like in that situation, like let that man get his rocks off, man. It's just like it's just not that big of a deal. You know, it didn't seem it would be different. Like the movie Don John, where he was actually having sex with his girl, and then after it was over, like he was so addicted to porn that after it was over, like he was going and watching porn and then like masturbating again. That's OD.
That's crazy.
But that's also an addiction. So
Yeah.
I would just be more so like, hey, like maybe like I can get you help or something like that. Like, you know, that, you know,
Yeah.
when you're in a relationship like that, you would probably want to get help for your partner. But if it's a thing where, you know, and I don't know the magnitude of what that looks like, him watching it, like how frequently he's watching it in the shed or whatever. But I'm just like, dog, if you make it that far in life in your 60s and you got a thriving, what seems to be like a thriving marriage or whatever, and my wife feels like, hey, like you got a little bit of a gut and, you know, maybe, you know, I just need to look at this every now and then, but it ain't interfering with what I got going on in our relationship.
Do it away from me.
Yeah, it's just like I don't need to be there watching it. You know, I'm not trying to like entertain it with you, but like if that's what you need to do, then
Sometimes your pleasure is your business. So like I said, if I walk in the room and she's got a vibrator going, I don't think I had a right to tell her to not play with herself.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. I don't think I had a right to be like, hey, you need to stop playing with yourself because you have me.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm still going to get mines. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to tell you to not play. You've been playing with yourself before I even met you. You've probably been doing this since you're freaking high school.
What if she watching Creed?
Damn. Then we got to break up. You just watching Michael B. Jordan boxing playing with your pussy? God damn. That's too much. God damn.
That nigga running up hills.
Like Michael B. Jordan's hitting the punching bag and you just, God, going crazy in that thing. Nah, that's too much. This is kind of off topic, but Glorilla, she was talking about how she had to like stop using that Rose toy because she got addicted to it.
Yeah.
She said that she'd be like having people over or whatever and she would go to the bathroom and she said she was like getting tapped out in 3 minutes.
Really?
The Rose toy was tearing her up in 3 minutes. She talked about it. And she said, I was using it like multiple.
Shannon Sharp thing or
No. She said this on, I think it was on the Angela Yee show.
Oh, okay.
Like I was using that thing. She like I was using that thing like a couple times a day. Like and like when I would just be minding my business, having orgasm and stuff. Like I had to stop that thing because it was too powerful.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they shouldn't be making toys like this.
Yeah.
No, this is too much. And then they talk.
That's a lot of competition for Dame Lillard.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, allegedly they had it. But then they talk. I've seen this article pop up right now. It says, can your vibrator really cause dead vagina syndrome?
Dead vagina syndrome.
That's what it says here. In this age, we have endless info at our fingertips when it comes to medical conditions, but you certainly can't believe everything you read, even if sounds like real scientific syndrome. Case in point, dead vagina syndrome, a viral term that's been floating around the internet to describe a sense of numbness in your nether regions caused by overusing your vibrator. Luckily, according to experts, dead vagina syndrome is totally made for the internet nonsense. I don't know though, man. It might be some legitimacy to dead vagina syndrome, because you got to do extra stuff to make the vagina have nerves, man. Mm-hmm. You know, I had to use a stun gun one day, man. What's that shit that the cops use? The taser.
This taser.
At this point, women gonna start using tasers on it, man.
Yeah.
That's just gonna get bad. You remember that video that went viral years ago? Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me, bro.
Nah.
Oh, bro. Everybody listen to man. Go to freaking YouTube and put in "Don't Tase Me, Bro." I guess it was like some city council meeting, and this dude stood up and I guess he stated his opinion, and they said, "Get him out of here." And he's like, I don't have to go anywhere. And he's like, "Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me, bro."
He got tased.
Yeah, they tased the fuck out of his ass. Yep, ask and you shall receive, sir. You wanted to tase, you got it.
Yeah, I would be curious though, like what are and for the listeners out there, like hit us up, hit up Eddie, or like leave us a comment on the Spotify or whatever. Like I'm curious to know how this looks in your relationship. I think for me it's like to me it's, I guess it's not that big of a deal, but I also like I don't want to see it per
Absolutely.
se. But if you're doing it, like if I'm recording a podcast and you gotta get your rocks off, then like so be it.
I just don't want to know like that. I feel like, and I don't feel like I should be confronted. Like if I'm just minding my business, I'm getting a little jerked before work.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you to come in there and be like, hey, oh my God, like stop. Like you shouldn't be doing this. It's like, don't like, man, I've been doing this before I met you.
Yeah, I've been doing this for I'm well versed in this area.
I'm well versed in the jerk. You merely adopted the jerk. I was born in it.
You merely adopted the jerk.
You merely adopted the jerk. I was born in it.
Yeah,
I was born in the lotion.
That's hilarious.
When some people be like, the funniest thing people try to do is act like they're not regular or like human beings. They'll be like, I don't do that jacking off stuff. I don't do that. I don't do that. It's like, shut up, bro. Most people do.
Yeah.
Most people do. Even if, and the thing about it too is if you're a person that's watching porn multiple times a week, beating your meat, I don't know. That's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like it's convenient. It's almost like I would liken masturbating to like eating a frozen meal, right? Of course, you want to eat meals from scratch, you know, mashed potatoes with gravy and, you know, chicken breasts or steak. Like that always tastes better. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's good to, you know, get a hot pocket here and there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I think a little irk and jerk keep you regular.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also think like sometimes it's different scenarios, right? Sometimes you could do the whole masturbation thing because the old, I guess this was maybe like I think Cat Williams was one of, not that he invented it, but he was one of the first people that said it like publicly, like, hey, if you don't want to nut fast, then make sure you jerk off before your date come over or before you go to the person's house or whatever. And then sometimes it could be a scenario where you and your partner, y'all got like very busy lives, or you got kids or something. The kid is always around, and the only time you got to yourself is, you know, when you get ready for work in the morning, or you might get up at 4 a.m. or something like that, rub one out, and then, you know, go to the oil fields or whatever. So, yeah, I guess it's just different scenarios.
Yeah, because people just, I guess the thing about it too is sex is just something that's essential to people, whether it's with yourself or with a partner. Because I'm sure it's like parents out there, like single parents or like a single mom out there that got like a late night visit, you know, and, you know, she's always busy with kids and things like that. But she needed a dick appointment here and there. You know, the baby might be sleeping in the next room. She's like, just please be quiet.
Yeah.
Just please be quiet. Dude, like, you ain't gonna check on your kid? That's okay. Just he's gonna keep crying anyways.
He'll go back to sleep.
He'll go back to sleep. This nigga done cried himself to sleep just so you can get a nut. That baby done cried himself to sleep. Oh, I'm sure that shit had really happened before.
Yeah.
I don't think I feel comfortable with that. I couldn't be smashing while this kid's crying.
That's kind of crazy.
They be like, Mama.
Those like the Tinder dates, like the ones that just had a baby maybe a few months ago, and they just it's like, you see some wild stuff. Oh, that's my fault.
That's yours? Okay.
You be seeing some wild stuff on there. Like, why are you on Tinder with a big old 9 months pregnant belly on there?
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's like, wow.
That's crazy. It'd be like, it'd put a disclaimer like, dad's not in the picture. Like, you gotta figure your life out.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Dad's not in the picture?
You be seeing some wild stuff, man.
Yeah, I don't fuck with the dating apps. I've seen one. You know, here's the thing. The thing that's actually weird about that is, like, when I did use Tinder at one time, there was a woman that I didn't realize she was pregnant, and we matched.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, oh my God.
How many months?
She was showing.
Like you were just like swipe. Like,
I didn't
just
see
so
it.
happened.
The profile picture didn't show all the pregnancy, but then you scroll down, and he was like, she pregnant.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
Dang.
That's wild. Some motherfuckers some dudes be into pregnant women. I've seen dudes hitting on pregnant women before.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, it couldn't be me.
It's something like, I think it's like a biological thing. Like I don't know, you know that she's like capable of bearing a child. I don't know.
That's too close for me because that means, like, you know, so many months ago, dude was hitting it.
Yeah. It's fresh, too.
It's fresh. It's Subway.
Only 3 months ago, somebody was knee deep. Nigga was not pulling out.
Fresh bread at Subway. Yeah, I couldn't do it, man.
Yeah.
But God bless anybody that can.
Mm-hmm.
That kid needs a father.
Amen.
Yeah. No, man. But I'll close it with this. If you're a occasional visitor to the hub or whatever it is,
To the hub.
we all know what that hub is.
Corn sites.
my advice is make sure you watch regular stuff though, man. Don't go into watching a bunch of wild stuff. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like if you shouldn't be watching, if you do ever watch porn, you shouldn't be watching porn with people you would like. How'd I put it? You should watch porn with people you would actually probably have sex with in real life. You shouldn't be watching all this extra out stuff.
I would say, I wouldn't say that. I would more so say like, I don't know. I don't really put no stipulations on it. People have like, because like sometimes I would say like maybe there's somebody that wants to do a certain thing. Like they might want to do like a dominatrix thing, like tie they partner up and masks and the little gag balls and stuff like that. But they partner might not be too. They might not take a liking to it, or they might not want to do it. So
I don't know. They might not. But the thing about it is, it's like it's taking you away from your own relationship at some point. Because now
it definitely does.
You kind of like you fantasizing about something that's not going to materialize. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, hey man, you gotta change. I'm telling you, change it up. Because there's some people that let's say their girl is like skinny, but all the porn they watch is like BBW. At some point, you're gonna stop being attracted to the person you dating.
I think you run that risk. But it's all. I think if that's the case, it's all dangerous though.
It is.
Even if you got. Because it's not your partner. It's like, even if you are looking for the petite girls or whatever, like the similar shape to your partner, it's still not your partner. You know what I mean? So there's going to be an inherent risk in that. But yeah.
I bet you it's some Christian dude that's probably watching porn for the first time. And he'd be like, this nigga going to the search bar like personality.
Yeah.
This nigga in the search bar like God-fearing woman.
That's crazy.
Wow, man. You ain't seeing none of that on there.
Personality categories is wild.
This
like
nigga
happy-go-lucky.
This nigga gonna be on page 1147.
He might find like a little nun costume on there or something.
It'd be like, it'd be some weird ass title. Mm-hmm. Gets baptized by BBC. Like that's when you got to turn the porn off, man. You got to turn that shit off. You start coming across titles like that. Yep. All right, let's switch gears. Switching gears. Tesla recalling a lot of those Cybertrucks because they have a trap pedal. All right. Where are we at? Tesla recalls Cybertruck over trap pedal. Issue seen in owner's viral TikTok. Tesla has issued a voluntary recall of 3,878 Cybertrucks to fix a stuck pedal issue that had been depicted on a viral TikTok video last week. Owner Jose Martinez, a pad on top of the Cybertruck's accelerator pedal could come loose and get trapped in the interior trim, causing unintended acceleration. A Tesla filing with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration acknowledged. Oh yeah, it's bad. Basically, imagine this. Imagine your pedal, right? And above the pedal is like it's like a little wall underneath like near the floorboard where you put your feet at, and there's like a plastic shroud that goes over the pedal that it could snap off and it'll slide up. And when it slides up, it gets trapped and it keeps the pedal floored to the fucking ground. Mm-hmm. So, and then you can't like unlock it because it's in a stuck position. The only way you can do it is using the actual brake, because the brake will literally stop the Tesla, right? It's a little different than like a gas car, like where gas is going to be, at least with the Tesla, the brake is going to stop the car. Mm-hmm. You stop the car, turn that motherfucker off and then get it unstuck. But they're kind of using a little bit of cheap material. You know, I don't know if quality control definitely missed this shit. But yeah, here's my personal opinion. Those Cybertrucks look like toasters, man. I'm like, this motherfucker's driving down the street in a toaster, and he would make a mean breakfast sandwich out of that motherfucker, man. Those Cybertrucks are not cool, man. That like they look different, and look, this is subjective, obviously, but I've been seeing a lot of Cybertrucks pop up recently. I'm seeing people driving them in Bakersfield.
They're a spectacle for sure.
Oh yeah,
I seen somebody put some Daytons on, and I was like, "Yo, that's kind of fly."
Yeah, I don't know. That shit's heavy
like
too,
some
man.
20-inch rims on there, some 100 spokes.
I like the interior though. It's really massive inside of there.
Mm-hmm.
But they just look really sharp.
Yeah. Somebody made a joke, and I'm a butcher the joke, but they were basically saying like the Cybertruck is like it looked like the same car I drew when I was like 5 years old. When I was like, just draw. You're a bad artist at 5, and you just drawing on white paper or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's not very aerodynamic. It's very boxy, and it's very sharp too, which is kind of like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. I don't know, man. I don't know about these trucks, man. I think it kind of reminds me of the DeLorean a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the DeLorean almost had the same shape.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So I mean, DeLorean didn't last very long. It didn't have very much power and shit like that. But it was a spectacle just like this.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I believe the DeLorean was a hatchback, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it had like the Lamborghini doors on it. But I just more or less liken it to Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
I think that these Cybertrucks are going to be remembered the same way. They're going to be like, I remember when the people had those cars.
That would be interesting. Yeah, I'm waiting. That would be interesting because the DeLorean kind of like it got how would you call it, like fossilized, for lack of a better term.
Yeah,
because of the movie.
Yeah,
that's what people think of when they think of the DeLorean. So.
I think that you can first of all, if there was ever a remake to a movie, I low key would be like a fanboy of the fucking new Back to the Future movie. Mm-hmm. But like obviously for obvious reasons, you can't have Michael J. Fox. Mm-hmm. So you have to pick somebody that's like kind of like him.
You think like a reboot or like an extension of that world? Are you thinking?
An extension of it. Mm-hmm. Because like I don't think you can't. I mean, you could do a prequel.
Okay.
You could do a prequel.
Yeah. With what's the professor or the science guy's name? What's the name?
I think he passed. I could be wrong.
Mm.
But I know you're talking about
with
the fucking white hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could do that movie again. I think you could use the Cybertruck for that movie.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Absolutely. You could use the Cybertruck as like the one that's if it's the prequel, you can't use it. You can only use it if he goes into the current time, 2024. Then you can use the Cybertruck.
Yeah. And
then at the end, Michael J. Fox is sitting in the Cybertruck. He's like, "Hop in. We're going to 2092."
Christopher Lloyd is the guy.
Lloyd.
He's still alive.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like to kill people. That's
we could have killed him.
Oh God.
No, but
yeah, he's still kicking. But yeah. I think back to the truck though. I think that I was telling Eddie this yesterday. When it comes to technology, I think a lot of outsiders don't have a real understanding of what goes into like designing just products in general. Like sometimes they're like testing these things out, but it's probably when it comes to the Cybertruck, I don't know how long or how many years from its inception they worked on this till it got out to the public. But there's probably just Tesla employees, right? You have a handful of Tesla employees that design this thing. They think about it from their degrees in science, engineering, and years of research and genius, and then they put it all together, and then they make this truck. And then there's like some logistical things that they try to work out, while designing this truck and while building this truck. But they don't get to everything. That's just the nature of the beast. They probably thought about how to make it, like we're talking about aerodynamic, how is it cutting through the wind, and they do all these experiments with the smoke and stuff like that. So they probably got a lot of that stuff down. But a lot of times it's just those little things that are just kind of like causing like those things that you won't be able to test unless it's been used for many times in different scenarios. You got to drive the car in Louisiana, then you got to drive the car in Arizona, and then you got to drive the car like in Washington, and all these different scenarios to really get like what it's like the things that need to be adjusted, fixed, and things like that. Because even when the other Teslas, the Model X and all these different things, there were always like little things where the door doesn't quite close that well, or like, you know, if you're too far away from the car, you can't lock it, or, you know, it's all these things that just kind of have to get worked out over time. So I would say that this thing, hopefully no one got hurt by it, but it's kind of like in retrospect, when you actually think about it, like it's a stupid design. Like,
Yeah.
dang, dog, like if you just pull this thing off, or if it gets hot one day, especially in Bakersfield, like, and the glue starts to get a little bit undone, like you would just be accelerating, you know, until like, you know, until you run out of electricity.
If you panic, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to be like, okay, this shit's stuck. Something's stuck here. Let me use the brake to slow this thing down. Just decelerate and then go all the way to the side of the road with your foot on that brake.
Is that what I thought? It didn't decelerate. I thought it would just keep going.
No, you can decelerate it with your brake.
Yeah.
But the actual accelerator, if you give it gas, that's what gets stuck. So,
No, that's what I'm saying. What I was under the impression that it wouldn't slow down even if you had your foot on the brake. But
no, it does. It does.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. It'll decelerate the truck until you come to a stop. So the brake will cut that off. But that's very dangerous, because there's somebody right now that doesn't watch the news the way they should, and they're like, yeah, I got my Tesla, man. Hey, it's speeding up. This must be a new feature.
This must be a new feature.
I can't stop it. It's still going.
Then you're gonna end up back to the future.
You're like, what the fuck? I'm in 1985. What happened? You gonna go back too far? Now imagine you black and you got a Tesla, right? And you get the accelerator just keep on going. You're like, oh fuck, and you go through a time warp, and then you wake up and you're like, oh fuck, and like, get out of the car, nigga.
Dang.
You're like, man, we in slavery. What the fuck?
They wouldn't even know what a car is.
They be like, get out of that car. No, get out of there, you cyber slave. One of them cyber slaves.
You futuristic nigger. He gonna like come up and like,
Because the horses come up.
yeah, he gonna be on his horse like.
Oh man, that'd be crazy. It'll be like a Nostradamus moment. Like that moment would be etched in history forever. Kind of like how Nostradamus used to make these predictions, and then like it would be like pinpoint predictions, and it would be describing like a plane. I don't know if you remember the Nostradamus, like the stuff he used to say. He had a lot of them.
Yeah.
I wonder if he has any predictions for now. That's a good one.
Yeah. He probably.
You
I
said
haven't
what?
heard. Yeah, I haven't heard. I don't know specific things, but I
just put Nostradamus 2024. Nostradamus predictions for 2024. Let me see if there's anything. It says, Francis Strada, Nostradamus has long been a trendy topic, blah, blah, blah. Is there anything for 2024? Wrote, a red adversary will become pale with fear, putting the great ocean in dread. What? Nostradamus wrote that a red adversary will become pale with fear, putting the great ocean in dread. Who is the red adversary? You talking about the Russians or what?
It's a little vague.
Yeah, a little bit vague.
Yeah. Who's predicting more things, Nostradamus or The Simpsons?
Nostradamus wrote, the dry earth will grow more parched, and there will be great floods when it is seen. My goodness. Nostradamus, you didn't have a lot of time. You had a lot of time on your hands. He's made some other ones.
I wonder if Nostradamus watched porn.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, there will be screens featuring lovemaking by two actresses.
The great BBL. The great BBC will meet the BBL.
Oh, that'd be crazy. Motherfucker making predictions. The great Adam 22. Oh, no, that's terrible, man. I don't think anybody could have predicted porn movies.
Yeah.
That's something.
I think there's somebody that had an idea, because you think about it, like there had to be somebody that was just having sex and being like, yo, what if I could just, it was probably somebody that was just more curious about somebody else's sex life. Like he probably seen his neighbor in like the husband and wife and be like, dang, she got like a fat booty. Like I wonder what that.
Whoa! Like. I just looked up the first adult film.
Yeah,
it says El Satario. El Satario, Spanish, the satyr, also known as El Satario or the Devil, is the name of one of the earliest surviving pornographic films based on the fashions and technology depicted. It was likely produced in Argentina around 1907.
That's really early.
And includes possibly the first use of extreme close-ups of genitalia. One author has suggested it may instead date to 1930s Cuba. It was also been suggested that the film is intended as parody. Oh my God, 1907?
El Satario.
That's wild. It's 8 minutes.
Dang.
Can you imagine how crazy that is? They got the video here. I ain't even want to turn it on. You know how crazy it'd be? They had those wind up recorders where you had to like wind it up.
This mug is on IMDb.
What? Are you fucking? What does it say?
It says in one of the earliest surviving pornographic films to date, a group of nude young women are frolicking in the countryside when a satire appears and sexually assaults one woman.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sexually assaults one woman. The other woman then put him to fight. I don't know what that means. Yeah. It's considered one of the earliest adult films. Dang, that's crazy. It got a 6.2 out of 10 rating. That's crazy.
Niggas is rating an old porno? That's wild. How do we get here? I guess it's just useless information to our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know, what we why we even have to talk about. We're talking about Tesla Cybertrucks. But obviously, we've drifted from that topic. So, are you guys still interested in the Cybertruck? Because it'll kill you.
Yeah.
I
kind of want one, but yeah, I guess that's what happens when you get these early versions of things. You gotta let a few people kind of work the kinks out in order for you, or before you can safely buy one.
Say what you mean, Keith.
What?
Gotta let a few people get injured.
Yeah. I was gonna use a much harsher word than injured.
Oh yeah, because
it rhymes with tie.
Yeah, and the fucked up thing about any safety regulation in companies, any safety regulation, is because somebody fucked up. Mm-hmm. Hard hats exist because somebody's fucking head split open. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember one time there was like a video that was blurred out, but I guess there was large equipment. There was large like have you ever heard of an earth mover? It's like a huge. I won't even say it's a truck, but it's just a large vehicle with humongous tires, and they use it to pick up large loads of dirt. It's huge. Like one tire is bigger than like 3 people.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
One of those earth movers ran somebody over.
God damn.
And it crushed them so bad that they flattened out, bro.
Oh my gosh.
And then the hard hat was split in half and flattened.
God dang.
And then somebody in the comment section said, at least they was wearing their hard hat.
God dang.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, the earth movers are fucking huge, man. Let me see something. Earth mover. What the heck? Earth mover.
Yeah.
It's not pulling up what I thought it would.
Yeah, I seen a couple of, but I know what you're talking about. Those big old tires that like is taller than both of us.
They got some that are like damn near. They're like some of them are a little smaller than a whole building. They're fucking huge. Like there's one that's it's a record size. One of them is so big that the mirror is like half of this room.
God dang.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Side mirror.
Yeah,
I was like, damn. It's inoperable though. They just got it. They got it there somewhere. I think this might actually be the one here, but like this shit here, it's like a ship with tires.
Yeah,
they got ran over by that shit, man.
Just flattened out. I wonder. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see that per se, but I would want to kind of. It probably would look like one of those Looney Tune.
This ain't no Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sure the fuck ain't. No Elmer Fudd here. Let's switch gears. Switching gears. Prime Energy. Prime Energy recently had a lawsuit. Misbranded drinks contain more caffeine than advertised. So if you guys want to be like on drugs without being on actual drugs, drink Prime. A new proposed class action lawsuit alleges Prime Energy drinks contain more than the advertised amount of 200 milligrams of caffeine stated on each can, that's absolutely ridiculous in itself. 200 is too much. The 18-page Prime Energy lawsuit says that although the popular beverages are touted as containing 200 milligrams per 12-ounce can, testing commissioned by plaintiffs' attorneys have revealed that each can contains between 215 and 225 milligrams of caffeine. That's way too much. According to the lawsuit, Definite Prime Hydration LLC, a company created by YouTube personalities Logan Paul and KSI, has falsely, deceptively, and misleadingly labeled cans of Prime Energy under state and federal regulation and has misled consumers by introducing a misbranded food item into the stream of commerce. The filing notes that Prime Energy drinks have generated controversy due to their advertising campaign, which critics have said targets young children and young people who are more susceptible to dangers of caffeine consumption. According to the complaint, several countries and school districts have banned or restricted Prime Energy drinks because of the product's caffeine content exceeding legal limits or is otherwise deemed unsafe for children. You're killing kids, man. Logan Paul, you already killed in boxing. Don't kill kids. Okay? Yeah, it's fucked up, man. And also, too, they supposedly had PFAs in there, which is like a forever chemical. And it had like 3 times the amount. There's some people saying that it's been debunked, and other people saying like absolutely not. Like this shit has really got PFAs in it. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. I think we have to be careful with our caffeine consumption. If you think you need a cup of coffee every morning, you don't. I don't drink coffee at all. At all. I don't. You don't need to go to what's the other place besides Starbucks that people go to a lot?
Dutch Bros.
Dutch Bros. You don't need Bang Bros. You don't need that. Okay. Dutch Bros is full of sugar.
What's more addicting, Dutch Bros or Bang Bros?
People that know, they know. Yeah, people that watch.
You know.
If you have any type of porn intelligence, you know what Bang Bros is. Anyways, it's full of sugar, first of all, which is absolutely terrible, and full of caffeine. Those are 2 things that will fuck you up. And I see people drinking that every day. Like some of you guys, if you got a girlfriend that goes to Starbucks every day, just one day, just take the cup from her and just throw it on the ground, okay?
Yeah.
I suggest you do it, man.
If you want to be in a relationship, don't do that.
Yeah. You know what? My ex-boyfriend was not. He never broke my coffee. He never broke it. He never slammed it on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, well, go back to him. Okay? Both of y'all could drink coffee and die. Okay, go ahead and go over there. Nah, but you shouldn't be drinking this shit, man. It's expensive death. And Prime, what I have had, I tried like 2 different flavors, and I was just like, I'm not impressed by this. Just not. It wasn't impressive to me, but hey, I'm not.
What is? Does it taste like an energy drink? I didn't know that they were energy drinks. I thought they were like more sports drinks.
I think they have certain ones, but I think it's supposed to be a rehydration drink. But it's just not that good, bro.
Yeah,
it's just a bro drink.
Yeah, I think
it tastes like a fucking YouTuber made it.
Yeah, it's very strong branding. That's the thing that I see. But they got it in like Sam's Club and stuff now, so they're definitely making a lot of money. I think that, yeah. I mean, I don't have nothing to say about the coffee, but as far as the drink goes, it's like we see this all the time. Like even when we were kids, there was like very popular drinks. Whether it was like, was there like Surge? Was it like
Surge? Surge was
like.
Surge was like a Mountain Dew knockoff almost. You missed it, bro. It's still flying around. Oh, dang. Surge was one of them. Another one was nasty as fuck was All Sport.
All Sport, yeah.
All Sport tasted like, so disgusting.
But that was a little different. Surge was like more of a caffeinated drink.
Yeah,
but
it was soda.
Yeah, or just like Mountain Dew. Like people used to knock those back, and then we started seeing like the ramifications of drinking so much consuming so much soda. But it's a way of life. Like, and I'm not gonna say nothing too crazy because like I have vending machines, so
Dude,
you know I know how profitable those things are.
bro, All Sport is still around, bro.
Really?
It's on Amazon. All Sport body quenchers.
Do they have new brand?
Sports.
Like new branding?
No. It's Sports Freezer Pops.
Oh, what is that?
It's Freezer Pops, bro. It's not even a drink anymore. That's how you know you should be drinking that shit.
Did they rebrand?
They must have.
Yeah, I see it right here. Sports Freezer Pops.
Yeah, it's just All Sport.
Yeah, it's the same brand. I mean, the same logo.
They don't even make the drinks. They just making sugary ass shit.
All Sport Zero. That's crazy.
You know what's funny about like Costco? Their brand is what, Kirkland, right?
Yeah.
They got some knockoff fucking vitamin water. It's just a Kirkland. Kirkland sports drink.
Kirkland Waters.
I seen somebody with a Kirkland t-shirt one day. I was like, damn, you know this nigga got that from Costco. Yeah, this is crazy. I'm looking at it right here.
Yeah, I see the drinks right here. The old drinks. Yeah, All Sports. Definitely like freaking Powerade knockoffs.
All Sport Zero. They got All Sport hydration sticks on Amazon.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what happened. It's let me see. Dang.
Hold on, I see it right here. Bev.net. I see All Sport. All Sport body quencher was developed by using sociology.
No, check this out.
Go ahead.
It says All Sport was launched by PepsiCo in 1994 as a competitor to the Coca-Cola company's Powerade and Gatorade.
Oh, wow.
Which at the time was a separate entity owned by Quaker Oats. After PepsiCo's 2001 acquisition of Quaker, All Sport was sold to the Monarch Beverage Company before being acquired by Big Red in 2007.
Oh, wow.
In 2018, All Sport was acquired by Keurig Dr. Pepper through an acquisition. Gel Cert became the primary manufacturer of the brand's powered drink portfolio. This would later lead Gel Cert to make the decision to acquire the business in late 2019.
What the fuck?
So yeah, the All Sport been through the ringer.
Yeah, I have not physically seen an All Sport in any store anywhere. Like some of these drinks go to like Canada and shit. Mm-hmm. So which is crazy. Like Fruitopia is still around, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes, but it's like it's only in certain places.
Yeah.
Watch Fruitopia. Yeah, right here. It says it. On Amazon you could get it. But it come in these weird jugs. Let me see. Fruitopia, Strawberry Passion. Yep, it comes in these little jugs. Holy wow. Natural flavor. Let me see how much sugar's in these things. Sugars is 23 grams of sugar per cup. I know that shit is sugary as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
That shit was bad.
It's different. It's crazy how different schools are compared to when we were younger, when you could literally, there was soda machine. I know I got vending machines now, but I know back in the early 2000s, that was probably the peak of vending machines because there was vending machines at the schools. So not only were you able to throw them at the places where there was like 50, 60 employees and warehouses and break rooms and stuff like that, you can have them at school, and kids would probably every day buy Fruitopias and Brisk teas and stuff like that. But nowadays they would never have no freaking vending machine available to the kids at the school.
No.
That would not happen at all. I remember at BHS, you could literally just walk over there. They had the outdoor vending machine, and you just go over there and, put your $2 in there, $1.50 or whatever, and get you a Gatorade, and you'd be cool. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they took this shit out of. They took a lot of machines out of schools just because of the sugar content, I guess. Mm-hmm. But it's like the shit that's out here now ain't no better. Mm-hmm. You still they still have the student store anyways.
Yeah, you can still get pretty much the same stuff.
You get all the same fuckery out of there.
Yeah. It's crazy. I work at a school now, and it's like the closest thing to a private school, but it's a public school. Like just the way that they move, like they have like different meals and fresh vegetables and stuff like that. But they get like snacks inside of the classroom and stuff like that. It's different, but yeah, it's a different world out there now.
Yeah, this popped up on here as I was looking through Fruitopia and stuff on Facebook. But I guess Jill Scott is getting backlash for giving him flowers for that diss track against Quavo. It says,
Chris Brown.
Yeah, Jill Scott. It says on Twitter. It says Chris Brown is amazing. How does anybody sing like that, dance, look, act, rap like that? Beyond gifted. It appears exceptional. People have to go through exceptional. Whatever. There's nothing to debate. And then Chrissy, look, I think women he's abused would disagree. Somebody commented.
Yeah. I'll let you finish.
Yeah. Then she responded, and it says, I doubt it. My mother's ex-husband was a mean, violent human, and he could lay foundation better than anyone in my city. What he did with cement was awe-inspiring. We got away. He got a raise and praise for his ability. God dealt with the rest. I don't even know what that means. And then the dude said, I love you, Jill, but he has so many domestic abuses cases. It's ridiculous. We can't look past that. It's like, I'll say this, man. I crack my jokes and make statements about Chris Brown, but it's also important. You don't want to always hold people to their worst moment. But like putting your hands on women to me is like, that's where I kind of draw the line too, though.
Yeah. I don't know of too many of those situations like to that extent where it's like a singular thing. I would say that. But I would also say like, I don't really have an opinion on Chris Brown, but what I would say is like Jill Scott is, if you follow her on social media, from the time that J. Cole dropped his mixtape, she's been like bigging up like lyricism. Like you'll see her on Twitter like, yo, this song is amazing. Like the song Pie on Might Delete Later. She's like, she put a screenshot of it. She tagged like J. Cole and Absol and Daylight and stuff like, and just kind of like gave the guys a round of applause. Like you can tell she's a soul R&B singer, but she like really appreciates rap. And I would say that because of who she is, and she's like, kind of one of those like very spiritual, very soulful, kind of like a woman's woman, like a woman that women look up to.
Yeah.
I think she's in a position to where like in her mind, she like, I'm here for the raps, but people are connecting the Chris Brown to the domestic abuse and all this other stuff. And they not really letting her live her life. So I just think that sucks that she, as a person that just likes music, she can't really like give somebody their flowers in that way. But yeah, I do. But there are some people that just believe that. There's some people that believe like Chris Brown could like join the Lakers next year and win an NBA championship, and they're always going to remind the public of like, like I'm not congratulating him. He beat up Rihanna, or he could win a Pulitzer Prize or something like that, and they're always going to bring up the domestic violence. So yeah, it's a tough situation, but she seems like she knew what she was doing. I think she understood that she would probably get some backlash for that statement, but
yeah,
she was ready for the smoke.
She probably had a bottle of wine, feeling good about herself.
Yeah.
I think that social media needed to stop you from posting if you've been drinking.
Yeah, I think you mean like the congratulating Chris Brown statement, or you mean the response?
Yeah, the response was kind of like, how your dad was abusive to your mom, but he was also this or that. You just don't want to. My thing is this: I don't want to hold anybody to their worst moment, but I also don't want to make any excuses for domestic violence against women.
I think she probably shouldn't have said nothing.
Yeah, she just left that shit.
That is kind of a wild comparison. Like,
yeah,
this dude was beating up my mom, but he was good at laying.
He beat my mom, but he sure could make a steak.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, some things are better left not responded.
He beat my mom, but he sure could barbecue.
God dang.
Yeah, it's like all of it is it becomes very insufficient.
Yeah.
After somebody beat your mom, that shit is just like ain't really much else you can say after that.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, there it goes. All right, switching gears. NBA player banned for life. Let's go ahead and read that. And why you sent me I'm clicked the wrong link. This one down here. That went straight to YouTube, man.
Yeah.
Coben Porter sentenced to 6 years in prison for deadly DUI crash. Same week his brother Jonte banned from the NBA. There's Michael Porter Jr., his brother Coben, and Jonte. His brother Jonte is the one we're talking about right now. He was banned from the NBA for betting, for sports betting. But let's go ahead and read the full family tree here. Coben Porter, the younger brother of Denver Nuggets standout Michael Porter Jr., was sentenced to 6 years in prison Friday for killing a woman in a drunk driving crash, according to Denver Post. The sentence arrived only 2 days after Jonte Porter, Coben and Michael's other brother, was banned for life from the NBA for his role in a gambling scene. The crash that led to Coben's incarceration occurred early in the morning of January 22nd, 2023. With an arrest coming later that day, the 22-year-old was reportedly driving drunk just before 2 a.m. when he ran a red light and crashed into a vehicle driven by Kathy Lemon Rothman. Rothman, 42, was killed, and passenger in her vehicle was seriously injured. Prosecutors reportedly said Porter was driving 50 miles per hour in a 30 zone with the blood alcohol over .19. Rothman, who had a young son, was driving for Uber at the time. This is what I fucking hate. Why is it always a person that's trying to work and provide for their family? The people that die, they're always like productive, decent people. It's so fucked up. This is why I don't have any love for drunk drivers. If you driving drunk, you're a piece of shit. You are a piece of shit. There are too many outlets for you to not do this dumb shit. Too many outlets. I don't have any empathy for Coben Jr. or was it Coben Porter. Mm-hmm. I don't have any empathy for him, man. None. She was 42 with a son trying to fucking provide, and she died. And it's insane how much you keep seeing the same shit. And the niggas that's drunk never die.
Yeah.
Man, the way I think about traffic accidents now is a lot different than I've been driving a Class A vehicle for the last 9 years. Mm-hmm. And this is going to sound terrible, what I'm about to say, is if you're going to drive drunk, or you're going to drive reckless, I'd rather you run into a wall and die, not innocent people. Mm-hmm. I think it's fair that I can say that. I hope no one dies, but if you made a decision if you made a selfish decision, which means if you're swerving in and out of traffic, driving in excessive speeds, I'd rather you affect yourself than the people that got nothing to do with it, dog. It's too much.
I just never hear that story, though. I never hear the scenario where the person that's driving drunk, like, is the one that gets hurt and the other person survives.
Man, it's ignorant. Mm-hmm. He got 6 years for it. Bro, that's a small price to pay for killing somebody that was minding a fucking business. Mm-hmm. That's insane.
Yeah.
And I'll finish reading the rest, but that's very upsetting. That's very upsetting, man. Porter pleaded guilty in February to vehicular homicide and vehicular assault, reportedly on the condition that he be sentenced to no more than 8 years in prison. He faced up to 12 years if found guilty. Fuck him. Rot in jail. Rot in prison, man. You going 20 miles over the speed limit and you running lights. Why the fuck are you driving? Why?
Yeah.
And here's the worst part. Nobody was there to take your motherfucking keys. How? Like, the thing about people, this is why alcoholism is no joke, man. Alcoholism is no fucking joke. If you don't think it is, go to TikTok and look at all the stories of people who were alcoholics for years. Oh, by the way, Keith, my right-handed God, this happened yesterday. I was over washing my work clothes over at the laundromat. I ran into this white dude. He probably was like in his 50s. Mm-hmm. And I overheard him talking to like the store owner at Liquor King on the corner. He's like, it's been 15 days since I had a drink. And the store owner was like, congratulations, man. Just keep doing your thing. And then when I got inside the laundromat, I said, hey, I heard what you said to the lady over there. I was like, man, congratulations. Keep doing your thing. He's like, oh, man, thank you. I appreciate it. He said, I had to, man. I could have died. Mm-hmm. I was like, really? He said, yeah, it was bad. He said, what made it worse is once I stopped drinking, I could have died that way. He said, I had such strong withdrawals, I couldn't even walk right. Mm. He said, it was affecting the way I was walking. I was sick. Mm-hmm. And he's like, when you're that sick and you're having withdrawals, you got to get a drink to get back healthy. Mm-hmm. He said, but I've been kicking alcohol for the last 15 days. Mm-hmm. They gave him literal medication to help him with his withdrawals. Y'all think this alcohol shit is cute though. You think being a drunk is fine. Like being a drunk is, oh man, we turning up, we drinking, we chilling. People post videos of their family members that are fucked up, throwing up, like, oh, he can't hang, look at him, he can't hang with us. Bro, he's fucking dying of alcohol poisoning, you fucking idiot. That's what's happening. His body is rejecting the alcohol, and you niggas act like it's cute to be a drunk. It was a video I seen the other day, and it was this black dude, and he was like kind of passed out like sleep. But as he was like sleep, he was throwing up, and he was throwing up just brown shit. Just he would go back to sleep, and he'd wake up throwing it up again. And then somebody said, oh, this dude is a lightweight. And in the comments said, no, he's fucking dying of alcohol poisoning, you idiot. Like, you need to call the hospital. This is just bad. What was this? Henry Ruggs is the other one. Killed an innocent person. Driving over 100-some miles an hour. Killed her and the dog. This is just selfish. It's just selfish. And that family ain't looking too good. They're looking like a family full of fuck ups.
Yeah.
You got a son that's so dumb, he in the NBA and he betting on the fucking game. Then the other brothers are drunk, killing people.
Yeah. That's sad, dude. That's a sad situation.
It's a bunch of fuck ups over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. Connie Johnson Rothman's mother reportedly said in the court Friday that her life also ended in that crash. Before the crash, Porter was a guard on the University of Denver basketball team. He averaged 11.4 points per game in his freshman year, making him the latest in the string of players from prominent basketball family. So this guy was there his freshman year, didn't really get to live out his potential, and fucked his life up before it started. I'll say this, man. I know you're young, but that's no excuse to do shit like this, dog. You have to be able to have just a certain level of maturity to like say no or to not go to certain spots. But to make a long story short, one of them was in trouble for sports betting. He got banned for life, and also he was influencing the games that he was betting on. Correct? Like he basically was either sitting out hurt or not scoring or whatnot. So you're affecting the integrity of the game by doing that. However, I will say I do not like the way these professional leagues like the NFL and the NBA and all these other professional leagues allow so much gambling in the sport. Like, it's all good until the players want to get involved. If you really cared about sports betting, you wouldn't even have it involved in your sport. But it's so lucrative that you allow it. It's like everything's like, go check out Prize Picks, check out this, check out that.
Yeah, they're promoting it everywhere.
The parlay, you get your parlay, you could get up to 10 times the amount, this and that. It's like, if you're going to hold players accountable, it's like me doing drugs telling niggas not to do drugs. Like, if they're looking at me doing Percocets and fucking Molly, and I'm like, hey, man, I know I'm doing Percocets and Molly and sipping lean every day, but you don't need to do it, okay? You don't do Percocets and Molly, even though they make me feel good.
Yeah.
That's fucking ignorant, man.
Yeah. I was kind of like looking for kind of more about the thing. It says, try to read some of this. Jonte Porter, an article on him. It says, let's kind of start in the middle of the article. Signed a 2-day contract with the Toronto Raptors back in December. Porter, fully healthy for the first time in his professional career, showed flashes of a player he was meant to be at the highest level. The craft and spatial awareness he demonstrated in setting screens, combined with his exemplary passing vision, made him an immediate threat in dribble handoff situations. I may or may not have whatever. I don't need your personal thing. In the final game of his NBA career, Porter logged 8 assists in under 21 minutes. Only 24 other centers across all of the NBA history have accomplished a comparable feat. In the 37 games he played in and will ever play in the NBA, Jonte had a career assist to turnover ratio of 2-1. There's the irony. On the floor, he'd always been a good decision maker, but a series of dubious choices off the court has brought him to the landmark moment in modern sports disgrace. On Wednesday, less than a month after the NBA opened an investigation into betting irregularities related to Porter, he was given a lifetime ban from the league for a litany of infractions. Porter is the first player to receive a permanent ban for offenses not tied to the NBA's substance abuse policy since 1966, when Roger Brown and Connie Hawkins were banned due to their association with the 1961 NCAA point shaving scandal. The Porter investigation revealed that from January to March of this year, Porter had placed at least 13 bets. None involved games in which he had played, through a friend's account, with wagers ranging from $15 to $22,000. He'd bet against his own team on 3 separate occasions in multiple game parlays, each time betting that the Raptors would lose. He did not hit on any of those parlays, though it's unclear whether it was the result of any Raptors victories. There weren't many in that 3-month span. Porter's bets totaled $54,094. He was paid $76,059, a net gain less than the highest single bet he'd placed. So, yeah, he basically ruined his career for, $22,000.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That's how you know you have a gambling addiction.
Yeah.
Like, it's a real gambling addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it, man. I know I was at the casino quite some time ago, and I already had an idea of how much money I was going to spend, but I came out on top. I was winning, and I was just like, nah, that's it. I got to stop here.
Yeah.
Because there's an addiction that's like a dopamine.
Yeah, it is.
That it hits you, and you're like, oh, I'm winning. Oh, I'm winning. Oh, I'm winning. And then you lose, and you're like, it's all good. I'm going to get my get back.
Yeah.
And then you lose again. You're like, I ain't tripping. We're going to do this again. Then you lose again. You're like, oh, my luck is running out, but I'm going to keep doing it. And then it gets so bad that you could go to a casino with $5,000 and you'll win $120,000, but you only leave with $10,000.
Yeah.
Because you just won't stop.
You're trying to get your lick back. Yeah.
Man, let me tell you something. If I get $100,000, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
They said, hey, well, you could get this $100,000, or you could on one roll you could get $3 million. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna take this $100K and leave. That $3 million sounds great.
It's addiction. It's greed. It's stupidity. It's all these things tied in one. I know for me, if there is something that's like detrimental to my well-being or my health, then I try not to even indulge. So like, when I lived in Nevada, you could just walk into any casino and then do the sports bets. And I got to a point to where, like NBA playoffs, I was doing like over-unders on like, players. It got to the point to where I would drive across town, put a bet in at one of the.
Damn, you had a bug on you?
Nah, yeah, I killed it. The one that was just floating around. My bad. But yeah, so it was gotten to the point, like I had to be at work at like 11 a.m., let's say. I would drive across town to the casino, put in like, $30 on, LeBron James to score 25 points or whatever. And then go to work. And then like, if I make sure I'm watching the things, in real time or whatever. And then afterwards I would either, take my losses or I would go cash out or whatever. So it was a thing. It definitely was fun for me. And I see, I kind of see myself like, yo, this is something that I like, not that I was addicted at the time, but I could see myself kind of like on the verge of like, dang, this could get out of hand pretty quickly. So I kind of nipped it in the butt pretty fast, but
in the butt.
Now with the access of, with Prize Picks,
no Diddy, bro.
You got Prize Picks, you got all these DraftKings and all these other things and stuff like that, where they've kind of like made gambling like essentially like accessible to any and everybody.
Absolutely.
I could see how this can get out of hand, but I just don't understand how a person that is probably making way more money in their actual career, like it is kind of why I can see how it can happen, but it's just wild to me that somebody would lose out on the opportunity to play basketball in the NBA for their entire life over $70,000, $76,000. That's just crazy to me.
I think the only thing is he may still have the opportunity to go out of the country and make a lot of money.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say just me knowing like a few, I know like Tyron plays overseas, and I don't know how much. I think you could probably Google his contract.
I wonder if they
that.
disqualify you too, you fucked.
I don't see that happening, but I'm just saying like the money you would be making in the NBA is going to be astronomically more than anywhere else.
Yeah.
So
especially with these contracts, damn.
Yeah, and you probably still are going to have to work your way up because you don't have a name like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're not Dwight Howard going over there, Steve Francis going over there. You're, like a person that only had like 37 games. You know what I mean? So, it's a sad situation. I am more sad for Michael Porter Jr. because he's in the playoffs. He's trying to, win a championship again, and he got to deal with like the stupidity of his brothers.
One brother killed somebody. He going away for 6 years, and the other brother is kicked out the league.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, that's stressful. Mm-hmm. That's so stressful having to deal with that. Mm-hmm. That's bad. All I know is he the only one that seemed like he got some sense. He better not fuck up.
He definitely. I don't know if I've seen a little bit of his podcast. He definitely seems like his head is on straight.
He was interviewing like this porn star or like a porn star / like sex worker that had like a lot of trauma and stuff.
He like prayed for her on the podcast.
Yeah, he prayed for her. I think he was trying to hit low key though.
Hey man, that's the way to do it.
It's like, I'm gonna pray for you.
That's crazy.
I want you to come to my games. That's one thing. That's one thing people need to stop doing in church. Having like, I guess some churches have singles, like singles night or whatever. Mm-hmm. They got to cut that out though. You got to allow people to like organically meet people.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, they have like like some churches organize like single men's or single women's like retreat things.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that, but not like as a like
matchmaking thing.
Yeah, not a matchmaking thing.
They used to say back in the day, you want to get you a good woman, go to church. And it's like, man, that ain't true.
Yeah. The good woman is where she at. It's not at.
Absolutely.
It's not necessarily at church.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people be like, the next time I get in a relationship, I need to have God in my relationship. And it's like, so who'd you have, the devil last time? Shut the fuck up. Yeah. I don't have much more to offer this conversation. I just think it's irresponsible. I've said this. I don't want to have a circular conversation, but it's highly irresponsible to get in the car and drive while you are under the influence. Mm-hmm. Call somebody, man. Walk. Stay. If you got to go somewhere and go sleep on somebody's couch, do that.
Yeah.
But don't drive the motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to wrap this up. But where we at, man?
108.
Oh, wow. It's a shorty.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that.
I will say this though. Shout out to Ryan Garcia, man. Last night he pulled one off on Devin Haney.
That was a crazy fight.
Man. I predicted it early though, man. I said I think Ryan gonna smoke this kid because that Lomachenko fight, Haney did not convincingly win that fight.
Yeah,
I felt like Lomachenko won. And they favored Haney. I'm like, that shit ain't gonna work the next time. I think Ryan gonna smoke him. And Ryan put on a fucking clinic.
Did any of his like mental health, like all that crazy stuff he was doing, did that play a factor into your thought about the fight or how it would play out?
that didn't convince me at all. Mm-hmm. Not at all. Because Ryan has been doing some weird shit for a little bit. Mm-hmm. He even talked about how he had mental health problems on the Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. He's like, I had to take some time away from everything, man. I had bad mental health problems, man. Like I was going crazy for reals. I think that he genuinely has, I would say, possible schizophrenia. Mm-hmm. I know, I'm not gonna say schizophrenia. I'm gonna say he may have bipolar. He might be bipolar. Mm. Yeah, he definitely has a Kanye vibe about him. Yeah,
but this is something that I didn't. I mean, I haven't been following him for a while, but he seemed like more put together, like. before the Tank fight, I would say he seemed a little bit more put together. But he seemed a little unhinged. Like,
oh, definitely.
He was on like freaking Twitter Spaces talking about like child's being abused or kids being abused and all this other stuff.
At the end of the fight, he's like, I'm the only one trying to save the fucking kids, man. I'm trying to save the kids. And it's like he has like very hypocritical like language.
Yeah.
He'll say something about God and then like say
He'd
something
be like,
crazy.
yeah, Jesus. And then he's just cussing somebody out like the next.
He's like, I know it's all good. You know, that Jesus had my side and, you know, he kept me safe and fuck this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Fuck
like,
you.
Yeah,
You're like, okay, bro.
This guy is unhinged.
Yeah,
he's just he's a little bit crazy, but he's good at boxing. And, you know, Tank was the only loss that he took. But everybody ain't Tank Davis. So. And I would say there was some things that I seen that he looked like he was a little better. He looked like he was more relaxed in the ring. Like he, for the most part, you could see his hands was up. Like, you know, obviously in the later rounds, you know, you get a little tired, but when he came out, his gloves was tied to his chin, you know, when he was throwing his punches and stuff like that. So his defense looked terrible. I think that somebody else might take advantage of that, but he got power. He got a left hook that can drop pretty much anybody. And yeah, I'm curious to see. He definitely threw a wrench in that whole division. You know, the 140 pound division, because you know, it's supposed to be the Tank, Shakur Stevens, and Devin Haney. It was supposed to be all of them, like, you know, they was going to, you know, all clash at one point in time to see who was the big dog. But it looks like, you know, Tank has kind of clearly made a way for himself to be at the top of that.
Now all you got is Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and Ryan Garcia.
Yeah. So I would say Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia again, and then maybe a rematch between.
What is Shakur's weight at?
They're all. I think he fights at 135.
What if Shakur fought Lomachenko?
I could see that. I just feel like Lomachenko is. I don't know where he's at in his life, but I think that would be a good fight. I think people would want to see that.
Yeah, Loma might do something.
Yeah.
Yep. But there's that, man. Looks like we made it to the end of this. If you want some more content, go ahead and head over to the other podcast, the Oleander Sunset Podcast. I just released one yesterday, and it's a shorty. They're always shorties over there. It's about 26 minutes, 22 minutes. But if you want a word over there, go ahead and head over there too. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, if you made it to the end of this one, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Fings.
And we're out of here.
Peace.